Right, my darling Leos, welcome. This is going to be your May reading. Hope you made it through April okay. What a very interesting month it was. So we're sort of integrating a lot of big shifts. And let's pull out what it means for you guys, particularly. And if you've got a lot of Leo in your chart, you can also tune into this reading too. And if you like anything that's going on or it resonates, please comment below, ask questions. I am an open book. And these readings are free. Comment and questions are free too. It's an offering. So please make use of it from anywhere in the country at any time. Yeah. It is my pleasure to be in touch with you all. So let's see for you, Leo, what we have. If you've been tuning in every month, I'm going to add a extra card on this month for the tarot, and then we'll be pulling something from the shadow as well. And as I say with shadow stuff, it's just a heads up so that we don't avoid, bury in our body, resist, and create tension around the things that might be uncomfortable. Generally, once they're up in the open or in our conscious mind, we get a chance to love them and integrate them, which means, okay, well, if I look at that part of myself in my shadow, which doesn't feel that great, and it's usually the shadow aspect is I made a mistake, I didn't have it all figured out, maybe I hurt someone, maybe that part of me was unconscious and I didn't know, maybe I am the problem, maybe I'm enabling, whatever it is, just so we can love it. Don't hold on to it and stew on it, make it part of your identity. Just go, okay, I could have done that better, pull it into the light, love it, and then integrate that experience, which means moving forward, what would I do differently now that that part of me is known? Now that I know that I have the capacity to make that mistake or I'm likely to act in that way, how could I pause and respond for something different? And the reward is always better relationships, more creativity, better life, better truth, abundance, all the things that we want to understand, experience, create, be in love with. That's the reward. And generally, we can get there easily and effortlessly if we're in touch with our shadow at all times. It doesn't mean dwelling in the shadow. It doesn't mean digging all the time. We're just doing one card every month to just pull it to the surface and say, this might present to you. And if it does, accept. And as I was saying in the previous reading, my guides just show me the card again. They say, you pulled this, remember this, it's coming up. You're ready. It's time now. So they start to speak to me in those pictures. So the overall theme for you, Leo, is the Queen of Cups. She's an incredible queen, very intuitive, emotionally driven, and she has the ability to see deeper into the waters than most. So she uses her divine insight and that very deep emotional and intuitive mastery or genius to be in charge of and connected to the well-being of others. So in modern times, being the Queen of Cups in our own life might be feeling linked and empowered by our emotions, using our intuitive gifts for the right reasons, which might just be to better our lives, to be better people, kinder people, more compassionate, to look after our loved ones, to look after the earth, and having that watery nature as the driving force. Now, if we negate all the certainty around knowing why we're doing it, that's where a lot of people get stuck. It's not about, well, why do I need to be doing that? And what's the point of using my emotions and my intuition to move forward and to look after other people? The point is for exploration. And if it empowers the part of you that is looking for healing and brings that part of your body into health and well-being, then that's why we do it. For most of my students who have spent their whole lives repressing their psychic gifts and pretending to be something else, when the Queen of Cups show up, I say, well, you better start purging all of that repression in every part of your life where you weren't understood for the emotional, intuitive being that you are, because when she comes through, she has made her way to the throne because of how in touch and sensitive she is. So imagine what you could create in your life if that part of you was fully acknowledged, fully celebrated, and you put it at the top priority of how you make your decisions and go about your life. When this card comes through, you're being asked to trust the innate part of you that never lies. It is the part of you that says, you know what's good for you because your emotions told you. And you know you had that dream before that thing happened. So are you acknowledging the power of that? Or are you putting it away for the sake of what the world wants you to do, which is go to the shitty job, make the money, pay the bills, complain about it, and then try and fit in with people that don't get it, right? It's probably an extreme version, but I think you're on the way, Leo, to being a little bit more Queen of Cups in your thinking, a little bit more Queen of Cups in how you hold yourself, and using that emotional and that intuitive feed to really govern your decisions, because we're trying to get more information and more ideas about how we can organize our thought patterns around facilitating that for us. So if you spend a lot of time complaining about not having that energy in your life, or not being or feeling like a queen that is in touch with her feelings, then we need those messenger signals. Now, the messenger signals are usually glitches and discomforts in your life that say, you realize you've been doing the thing you didn't want to do for a long time, or you realize you've been complaining and moaning about something and not actually doing anything about it. You realize that you're around conversations and people that don't allow you or don't give you the honor of expressing your intuition or your emotions. Have a look at the information, good, bad, or indifferent, around you that is giving you that. So it might be the time to research or study or understand how other people do it. A really nice way to do it is looking at anyone in your life that you think represents Queen of Cups for you. So it could be a woman, it could be an older woman that is in touch with her feelings, strongly intuitive, and embodying it. She is the queen for you. And that could be a public figure, that could be a relative, whoever it is. And construct and deconstruct what it is that tells you that she has mastered that energy, or that she's at least on the road. Like, what is it in her, the way she does things, the way she thinks about things, the way she talks about things, that gives you that persona and that understanding? And what parts of your life actually make you feel like a queen, and what make you feel the opposite? Powerless, small, deficient. There could be some feminine themes around, mother themes, mother wounds, or it could be a lack of Queen of Cups energy in the women in your life. So they're here to teach you about what we can find in the ideas sector around how to get us out of a period of stagnation that is either here or coming this month. So Leo, be mindful. This is going to feel like the doors are closed, the stop signs are up, that you can't have what you want and you can't move forward. This is a necessary respite along the way, because there is a halo here. So if we take a rest, step back, look at the picture upside down, realize that we can go willingly into a period of reflection that will greatly serve us, or we can fight against it the entire time and create more stress. It's here that the Queen of Cups can talk to us. It's here that we can do the work. We can do the journaling, the introspection, the reflection, the meditation around how can I cultivate more of that energy in my life? And do I see a glimpse of it anywhere? And if I did, what would it look like? And how would I embody that? Like, if I was truly the Queen of Cups in my own life, and it's just a period of introspection, it's not, Queen of Cups might not be the end point for you. Queen of Cups might be, okay, I really need to deal with my feminine maternal issues over here because it's taking away from my divine feminine. And this is for men as well. So what part of my divine feminine is being locked up and not released. The creative, intuitive, emotional part of you is actually very intelligent and wants to teach you about what's going on. Best way to teach you is immobilize you, right? So it might not be that you can't do what you want. It might just be it serves you to take a step back away from action, achievement, and all of those dynamic yang energies and just hang for a little bit. Just suspend yourself without worrying about what's going on out there and how you need to do things and when they need to be done by. So take a long weekend or clear your weekend or take a day or take an hour or take half a day, whatever it is, take an afternoon and sit in reflections and draw it out sometime this month. Otherwise, you'll notice that things will get a little bit more difficult and intense. This can feel like stagnation, apathy, a low mood. It often feels like everything's glitching. You make plans and nobody shows up. It's like your guides are actually saying, we'll release all of that, but we need you to get this one thing, or we need you to get this perspective that you're avoiding. Because if we do, when I see this card and it comes up in a reading for me, straight away I say, okay, yep, cool, I get it. I'll suspend my actions, my need to get things done, my productivity, and I will sit with you for as long as it takes to draw out what you're trying to draw out in me. Because when we do that and we acknowledge it and we do the work, we actually get to bank on a really dependable sense of self-worth and the understanding that we are provided for, we're feeling emotionally and spiritually fulfilled, and we can celebrate the work that we've done. And I get this a lot, and my clients get it a lot too. It's like when you're in the work, like we're drawing things out, we're looking at things, we're creating new thought patterns, we're trying to understand it, we're trying to organize it. We go, why am I doing this? Is it right to be doing this? Pulling everything to the surface, talking about my past and my present and my future. It feels very dense when you're in it. It feels like you're in a suspension and it's uncomfortable and you're upside down and I don't like it. But the reward is worth it, because the reward says, I'm so glad that I did that work and looked at all those things, because now I get it and I don't need to make the same mistakes again. I don't need to rush into a trauma response or some kind of illusion. I can just move forward, banking my cups, which is banking the parts of me that feel fulfilled in who I am, and get to a place where it's not chaotic anymore. So Nine of Cups is a beautiful place. It's a rewarding place. It's where we sit back and go, I've done a pretty good job. I did all that work and it was difficult and I got through it, and the challenges and the setbacks, and here I am reaping the rewards of that, and I can see it in my life. It might be the reward that everybody around me is happy and healthy. It might be the reward that you made it to somewhere where you can be congratulated. It might be something that it's peaceful out there and that feels good to me, or new things are coming in which delight me. So pay attention. Queen of Cups is saying to you, her energy is available now. Use it. Pay attention to the new ideas, the new thought forms, the new digestible material that are coming in. Research, study, look things up. Say, what have I got here? Where am I going? And suspend the pathway forward for just a moment until you recalibrate the past. So for a lot of people, this just means you haven't been processing, you haven't been reflecting, you haven't been journaling, you haven't been meditating. So there's all this backlog of information that you haven't integrated yet because you're going too fast. So just sit down and get through that. I understand why that happened, because then I got to that point and I get that that came here, and now I get why that person acted that way. All of that is just processing and integrating. Best way to do it is through meditation, because you're not attached to it. So you're not even attached to it enough to speak it. It's just moving through. And the Hanged Man could be the whole month. It could be a day. It could be an hour. But if you answer the call, you will be rewarded. So remember that. Okay. Let's look at the shadow of what might be coming to the surface. And this will be a huge link towards what you're going to find in the Hanged Man's state. So why is the stagnation here to service? Oh, so many manta rays right now. So manta ray number 25 in the Stalky Shadow Oracle deck says you can glide through this or you can go unwillingly. The parts of you that want to fight the necessary period of reflection are the parts of you trying to be healed. And if there's anyone else around you that seems to be gliding through and achieving more and moving faster than you, if that's annoying you, then Manta Ray is here to say, whatever's annoying you is something that you look for. So we need to figure out the sabotage, the ways that you're creating your own setbacks. Stop focusing on them because they're just in a free flow time and you might be in a stagnation. Everyone has stagnation. Everyone has flow times and then personal winters. Ebbs and flows. Everybody has trauma. However it presents on the surface to you is not the truth, because the truth of someone's life can only be seen through their own experience. So however you're crafting that is an interesting way that your ego is saying, I want something in there. And the Manta Ray comes in to say, everyone's gliding through their life at their own pace. The more conscious you are, the more intentional you are, the easier the gliding will be. But if you're too focused on how other people are leaving you in a shadow or outshining you, that will be your biggest form of stagnation. And we do it, don't we? We sit there going, well, how come they get all the things? And how come it looks so good over there? And how come they manage to do it all? But that's telling us that there's something inside that needs to be unlocked. And however someone presents, you never know what's going on in the background. You never know how much work they're actually putting in. You never know the blood, sweat, and the tears that is going on for them to then be on social media with like happy family vibes. You don't know the tantrums and the setbacks and the work that it involves. But we all want to shine. We all want to have that moment captured in time where everything looks great. So grab those moments, acknowledge your stagnation when it shows up. Manta Ray is a huge force. So it means go willingly and surrender. When you ebb and flow, see if you can go willingly and accept, rather than say, no, not now, not like this. I don't like this. I don't want to do this. They've got more than I do. No, I have to get more. Glide through effortlessly as you can. I love you so much, Leo. I'll see you next month.